Hello everyone, welcome to our series on transformation, and today we will be talking about how to transform the energy of dishonesty to integrity. Now before we talk about integrity and dishonesty, I would like to start today by sharing a small story. And this story is something which I would hear as a child, as a kid. The story was told to us many times. So this story is basically about a guru. There was like a teacher, a spiritual teacher, and he had two disciples. उनके दो शिष्य थे या disciples थे. So उन्होंने उनको शिक्षा दी. The guru taught the disciples and trained them, both of them. And then came a day which was basically like the examination day of the disciples. So दो डिसाइपल को उन्होंने बहुत ट्रेन किया और एक दिन ऐसा आया जब उनको टेस्ट करने का टाइम आ गया and he had to actually just choose one disciple of the two, and then he had to give an exam, like a test, a spiritual test to both of them. And this story is actually from Jain religion or Jain culture, where I also come from Jain community, where there is a lot of emphasis given on non-violence or ahimsa. So in this story, this guru, this teacher is also like an ahimsa teacher. Now being an ahimsa teacher, वो एक बहुत अजीब सा टेस्ट देते हैं अपने दोनों डिसाइपल्स को. What he does is जो दोनों स्टूडेंट्स हैं, he gives two birds to each one of them. दोनों को वो दो पंछी देते हैं. And he tells them that your test is, आपका एग्जाम ये है that you have to go into the forest. आपको फॉरेस्ट में जाना है और कोई ऐसी जगह जाना है जहाँ पे nobody is watching you, and that is where you can kill these two birds. ये दो birds को आप वहाँ जा कर के मारो where nobody is watching you. And you have to finish this by evening. So शाम तक when you come back, you have to come back without those two birds and you have to kill them. So both the disciples, they go into the forest. दोनों forest में निकल जाते हैं और ढूंढने की कोशिश करते हैं कोई ऐसी जगह की जहाँ पर वो पंछी को उन लोग मार सकते हैं. So the day passes by, and finally by the end of the day, both the disciples, they come back to the guru. And then the guru calls the first one of them. So the first one of them was very happy, and because he did not have the birds in his hands, so he was very happy that he found a place. The guru asked him, so what did you do? And the disciple said that I went to the jungle and I found a very nice cave, और वो cave में कोई भी नहीं था. There was no one, not even a single insect, कुछ भी नहीं था वहाँ पर. And वहाँ पर जाकर के I killed the birds because nobody was watching me at that time. So the guru said, okay, good job done. Nobody saw you, nothing happened, and then you did your job very well. Then he called the second disciple in front of him. And that second disciple was very embarrassed and was very sad. Why? Because he was still carrying both the birds in his hands and he could not find any place where he could kill them. So the teacher asked that what happened? Why did you not kill those birds? And that student or that disciple, he said that he told his teacher that I could not find any place where my soul is not watching me. I could not find any place where God is not watching me. There is no place anywhere on earth where God is not watching me. And because of this, I could not kill these two birds, and I came back and I have failed the test and I did not find any place like that. Of course, having said, I'm sure by now you're clear that who won the test, who passed in this exam. Of course, the second one, because he passed the test of ahimsa. But one of the things what I really like about this story, and I always like to remember this story, because this story always reminds us. बहुत बार हम लोग क्या करते हैं, बहुत बार दूसरों से तो झूठ बोलते ही हैं कभी कभी, बट अपने आप से भी झूठ बोलते. We sometimes lie to ourselves also. Many times we lie to ourselves. Like for example, we don't like something, or we are not happy with something. But we just keep on consoling ourselves. We tell ourselves कि नहीं, सब चीज़ ठीक है. So integrity, the meaning of integrity is always being aware that somebody is watching me, and who is that? That is nobody but my own soul, or my higher soul, or God is watching me. जब उस कॉन्शियसनेस के साथ हम लोग जीने लगते हैं, ऑफ कोर्स इट इज़ डिफ़िकल्ट, बट जितना हम लोग स्ट्रेच कर सकें और जितना उस कॉन्शियसनेस के साथ हम जी सकते हैं, आवर इंटेग्रिटी विल कीप ऑन गेटिंग एनहांस्ड. इट डज नॉट मैटर कि आपको कौन देख रहा है, कौन नहीं देख रहा है, बिकॉज व्हेन पीपल आर वॉचिंग वी काइंड ऑफ we do things thoroughly, but when nobody is watching us we somehow do things half-heartedly. I've often seen, me being a pranic healing instructor, we always see a lot of pranic healers, practicing and doing their regular practices. We have our own set of practices. So it often happens कि जब हम लोग ग्रुप में प्रैक्टिस करते हैं तब लोग बहुत डिसिप्लिन के साथ प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, सब चीज़ करते हैं, कोई भी पार्ट को छोड़ते नहीं हैं, सब पार्ट थारली करते हैं. One of the reasons is because you're doing it in a group and somebody is watching you. And these same people, when they are alone, they often say कि नहीं अकेले में, they find it difficult. Because sometimes, because nobody is watching us, we kind of bend rules or we break rules, or this is like a small way of breaking our integrity. I would not really term it as dishonesty, but it is like a small tweak of not having enough integrity. Can we be the same people outside and also the same person when nobody is watching us? When nobody is watching us, we sometimes behave differently. When somebody is watching us, we behave differently. When somebody senior is watching us, we behave differently. Imagine if God was in front of us, we will behave even differently. Now, that is where integrity comes in, that can we lead a life where we are always aware that our soul and God is watching us. This will automatically, naturally stop us from lying to anyone, from being dishonest, from breaking virtues. Many things we will automatically surpass. Now let us talk about things on a more practical level. Of course, बोलने में आसान लगता है, but then what about on the practical level? On the practical level, how can we practice integrity? अक्सर business में मैंने देखा है कि जब हम लोग ये discussions करते हैं, there are businessmen who will always come up and say कि अगर हम लोग सब चीज़ सच बोलने लगेंगे तब तो फिर हमारा business चलेगा ही नहीं. अगर हम लोग सब चीज़ ओपनली सबको बताने लग जाएंगे तब तो हमारा बिजनेस चलेगा ही नहीं. बट पर्सनली आई फील दिस इज अ मिथ. दिस इज कम्प्लीटली अ मिथ. इनफैक्ट यू विल सी दैट जितना आपके बिजनेस में या आप जो भी प्रोडक्ट बेचते हैं या जो भी चीज़ का बिजनेस करते हैं, द मोर यू ब्रिंग इंटेग्रिटी इन इट, द हायर द वैल्यू ऑफ योर प्रोडक्ट, द मोर पीपल विल हैव फेथ इन यू, more people will trust you. In fact, why do we spend more money on brands, certain brands? Why? Simply because we know कि ये ज़्यादा चलेगा. Why ये ज़्यादा चलेगा? क्योंकि उसने जो पैकेट पे लिखा है, पैकेजिंग पे जो लिखा है, जो सर्विसेज दी है, वो सर्विसेज मुझे मिलेगी. Just because of this faith, we are okay to pay sometimes triple the price of the same thing which we can get in a cheap market, but we are okay to pay more. Why? Because that product has integrity in it. So in business, the more we become honest, the more we try to, जो भी हम लोग मार्केटिंग बाहर करते हैं, अगर वही चीज़ हम लोग अपने अंदर में भी ले आए, not just for the packaging part, but if we put that within us also, that enhances the credibility of your product, that enhances the integrity of the energy of integrity in our products. बहुत बार लोग बोलते हैं, in advertisements they give lots and lots of promises, many promises they say, but and many times even a common man can realize कि नहीं, ये तो it is just an exaggeration, और ये तो possible ही नहीं है. So these small little things, if we become more aware of what we are saying, is it really aligned to the inner reality? The more we try to align this, कि हम लोग बाहर क्या पिक्चर दिखा रहे हैं और अंदर से हम क्या सोच रहे हैं, जितना हम लोग इसको अलाइन करेंगे उतनी हमारी इंटेग्रिटी एनहांस होगी. I repeat, what we show to the world outside and what we are inside, as a human being, as a family person, as a businessman, as various roles that we play, what we show outside and what we are inside, of course there can be gaps. जितना ये gap कम होगा उतनी हमारी integrity बढ़ेगी. Like for example, internally you have made a mistake, but externally you don't want to show that you have made a mistake. You want to say कि नहीं हमने तो कुछ नहीं किया और आप उसे छुपा रहे हैं. That goes against the principle of integrity. If you've made a mistake, have the courage, have the integrity to say that yes, I have made a mistake. When it is needed to say, you say it. Of course, if it is not needed, that is still okay. But are you having enough integrity to be able to align your inner and outer? जितना हम लोग अपनी अंदर की रियलिटी को और बाहर की रियलिटी को अलाइन करेंगे, उतनी हमारे अंदर की इंटेग्रिटी बढ़ेगी. And that actually makes us, that really helps us evolve a lot. हमारे चक्रस का साइज, हमारे ऑरा का साइज काफ़ी enhance हो जाता है by practicing this virtue or by bringing in more and more integrity. Now what do you mean by aligning inside and outside? इसका क्या मीनिंग है? इसको थोड़ा सा और डीप में समझते हैं. Now what happens is sometimes we have certain things that we don't like about ourselves, or we don't want to accept it also. There are some negativities within us, or there are some bitter truths within us, and उसको क्योंकि हम लोग खुद फेस नहीं कर पाते हैं, तो कभी कभी एक लेयर बना लेते हैं ताकि दुनिया को भी वो ना दिखे. और जितना हम लोग ये लेयर बनाते हैं, उतना आपकी अंदर की रियलिटी और बाहर की रियलिटी, उसके बीच में हम पर्दा डाल रहे हैं, उसके बीच में हम गैप डाल रहे हैं, जिसकी वजह से द इंटेग्रिटी विल रिड्यूस. The more you stay transparent, the integrity will enhance. And that is why you will also see in the business world everywhere, जितनी आपकी honesty बढ़ती है, उतना लोग आपको ज़्यादा ट्रस्ट करते हैं. जितना लोग आपको ज़्यादा ट्रस्ट करेंगे, you will see that they will be okay to pay you bigger prices. They will be okay to do that because nobody likes to get fooled, especially in any transaction. So let me share another short story here. So once I was counseling a lady, and this lady used to run a bakery. वो एक bakery shop चलाती थी. So she used to make breads, pastries, and put it for sale. But unfortunately, she was not doing very well. उसके bakery में बहुत problems चल रही थी, and she was not doing very well. So she came for a counseling or just to have a discussion. She did some workshops with us, and then she came for a discussion. And then, so to cut the story short, she discussed about all the problems. And then she said that you guys talk about integrity and honesty. If I start becoming honest, like for example, if she's selling a loaf of bread, तो बोली अगर मैं ये loaf of bread पे लिख दूँगी कि ये आज का नहीं है, कल का बना हुआ है, तब तो इसे कोई लेगा ही नहीं, और तब तो मेरे और losses बढ़ जाएंगे. So what do I do? So many times there are situations where people tend to lie for their own benefit. But when outside people get to know about this, your credibility goes for a toss. Anyways, so then and she was doing this quite often, the manufacturing date, the expiry date, there was no transparency in that. So when I was counseling her, I just requested her or suggested her one small thing. Just told her that why don't you try this or experiment this for a month? Just experiment for a month कि आप किसी को ये मत बताइए कि fresh है या आज का है, ये कुछ भी मत बोलिए. Just do one thing, that whenever you manufacture the breads or the pastries or whatever products you're selling, you just write the manufacturing date and how many days does it last. You just write that. You mention that. अगर वो कल का भी है तो भी आप लिखिए. Of course, earlier there was resistance from her side, but then she agreed. I told her कि आप please एक महीना आप practice करके देखिए and then see what happens. So she agreed. And then जब भी उन लोग जो भी प्रोडक्ट बनाते थे, they started labeling it with precision कि कब ये manufacture हुआ है. So amazingly, that very month they started their business getting better. Of course, it didn't come into profits, but it started getting better. The energy changed. She started feeling more positive, and they could see some more positive changes. An amazing thing that happened कि जब उन लोग ने honesty के साथ labeling करनी शुरू कर दी, even if there was a bread which was made yesterday, but because it was labeled and it was mentioned that it will last for 3 days, the customers, they started feeling comfortable. So they realized, okay, कल का बना हुआ है, but at least लिखा हुआ तो है. Because जहाँ पे लिखा हुआ नहीं होता है और शॉपकीपर रोज बोलता है कि ये आज का ही है, तो कस्टमर भी समझ जाते हैं कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. And then they don't buy because they start not trusting you because the information is not given. And because the customer is not trusting you, they don't buy it. So this simple thing of labeling things and with honesty mentioning the date, this started changing the energy of her bakery, and it started becoming better and better, and in just 1 month. So this is just a small example of integrity. So don't कंसोल योर सेल्फ बाय सेइंग कि नहीं बिजनेस में तो झूठ बोलना ही पड़ता है, इसमें तो करना ही पड़ता है. लोग फैमिली में भी झूठ बोलते हैं. समटाइम्स पीपल लाई टू देयर ओन चिल्ड्रन. जा कहीं और रहे हैं, बच्चों को बोलते हैं हम यहाँ जा रहे हैं. नो, स्मॉल लिटिल थिंग्स. कैन वी स्टार्ट kind of streamlining and making these small things? Can we become more transparent? आप जैसे ही बनेंगे, you will start realizing, the more you become aware of it and the more you try to change this, you will start realizing the power of integrity. The first thing that you will experience is people will start trusting you. People will start having faith in you. Why? Because your energy will become full of integrity. Your energy will be full of credibility. You will have more and more people having faith in you, having trust in you. So my friends, let's not get into this trap of dishonesty, especially in the name of survival, especially in the name of fear, sometimes in the name of whatever. That we have various reasons to be dishonest, but at the same time, we have various reasons to practice more integrity. So let's try and align as much as possible our inside and outside. With this, thank you very much for joining in. Stay tuned. Do leave us a review and do comment whatever changes you experience. Do comment and do leave us a review. Thank you very much.